let's talk about for a second what Zionism is. I don't think a lot of people actually know. Um, and so I think one of the things that's going to help here is actually telling people what it is and actually breaking down what it is. Zionism is this belief that comes from the Bible, all right, the Torah more specifically, where the Hebrews of the ancient Middle East, who were Asian people, okay, they were Asian tribal peoples of the Middle Eastern desert, which has nothing to do with the Jewish ethnicity now. Okay? They believed, and it was recorded in the Bible, they believed that God promised them the land that is now Israel, or basically that area, roughly that area and those surrounding. Okay. That the old city still stands there. It's called Jerusalem. And now these modern Jews who have taken over that land have now indoctrinated generations of their children into this belief that this land, God has still promised this land to them. That's what Zionism is. These Jews today, modern day European Jews that have nothing to do ethnically whatsoever with those of the original Abrahamic faith, they have spun this yarn. They have spun this vile yarn that their people, because they have taken on the Jewish religion to a certain extent, you have really bent that a lot, I think. I'm a theologian. You kind of finagled it to work for you. Anyway, whatever. I've known a lot of Jews, and I have a lot of really good Jewish connections. This is not defamation towards Jewish people. This is revealing to you the absurdity of the yarn that they have spun and indoctrinated to generations of their people. And why would anyone want to do that? The reason why anyone would actually want to do that is to cover up something else. And one of those things is the modern slave trade, more specifically the sexual slave trade, which Israel is a huge component of. And I'm going to put a video and a post in this description that I write about, in which I write about the connection between communism, communism, sorry, hopefully I can talk, which I write about the connection between colonialism, communism, and the modern sex trade. The modern sex trade blew up and rakes in billions of dollars a year. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry. Through the communist colonialism, abuse, regime, and finally collapse. And Israel represents roughly a fifth. Remember, this is the black market, so this is rough numbers, but roughly a fifth of the sex trafficking that goes on directly in the West in this modern day. And the reason they have had to spin this story, these European descendant people, okay, have to spin this story. And I am not saying that the everyday Jew knows this, okay? I'm not saying that. But you have been indoctrinated into this fucking absurd idea that you as a white person, because a book that was written thousands of years ago in the eastern desert by eastern tribal people, because it says that certain land is promised to you. Now your whole people, all you white people, have this right to colonize the area and militarize the area and oppress Palestinian people. Please, modernize here. Modernize here. Have some dignity. Be a modern person that understands human rights, that understands post-abolition and post-emancipation landscape. Please.